Well, Josh, after 5 minutes of me messing around with my camera and my microphone, not just one, of course, because that would be too easy, uh, we finally made it to our live show on Mondays. Now, Josh, I, of course, have to start off the show with how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. I started watching the show You, and
Aha, I've heard many things about this, you.
it is crazy, man. It's a great watch. I recommend watching it. But yeah, I've been watching that all weekend. But it's been cold today, man, and I can't do it. I'm allergic to
You're not a
cold
cold
weather.
guy.
No, I can't do it, man. And I
See,
live in a
that's how I
very
know you're
cold
not fat.
state. I'm thick. I'm not. I mean, I do
Oh,
have
come on, bro. Come on.
what? I can't be thick.
Come on, bro.
No,
Hey,
man. I can't do it. I can't do the cold weather. Never have been able to.
I thrive in the cold. Thrive.
Listen, I'm fat too, so it's just I'm cold out there, man. It's cold.
See, I got plenty of protection. You put one, you throw one coat on me, I'm sweating, so I'm fine. I'm doing dandy out here.
One coat, you sweat.
But yeah, good
How
to
are you,
hear,
Connie?
Josh.
How are you? How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. School, we're almost there, but of course I have to take a winter class, so I'm not really almost there. Uh, but I guess I'm almost there in terms of this semester because when I take the winter class, it's only one class. It's for 3 weeks. Nothing serious. So we'll do that. Patriots got to win, which we'll talk about. Uh, Mike White's the go. There's just a lot of stuff to talk about, Josh, and I don't think we should let the people wait any longer than they have. But of course, if you tuned in last week, you saw something that we haven't done in a very long time with our nice little "Who Am I" section. And Josh, you promised me one. Now, did you deliver on this promise?
I did. I have one for you. I don't know if I used him before in the past, but it's been a long time, so I doubt you'll remember just from the hints.
Okay. Now,
So
for the people that don't understand, I'll explain it one more time for you. We're gonna, at the end of the first hint, I'm gonna start this here stopwatch, and I'm gonna have. I think I gave you a minute 45 to guess.
mhm.
So that's what we're gonna do, and I'll see if I can get it. There's no promises here. I'm not a very smart guy, but we'll figure it out.
All right. I was drafted in the second round in 2006.
Ooh, okay, that ain't gonna get me anywhere.
I am a two-time Pro Bowler and a one-time Super Bowl champion.
How many Pro Bowls?
Two-time.
And a one-time Super Bowl champ. Now, what year was this Super Bowl?
It was well. I can't give you that quite yet. I'll
Okay.
give you this. I'm gonna do how you did it last week. I'm not gonna give you the team he's most remembered for, but the other two teams he played for were the Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins. And
Oof.
he has 3 seasons over 1,000 yards receiving.
Oh, so this is a wide receiver, huh? You said the Vikings and the Dolphins.
He played for a team, went to those two teams, then went back to his old team.
Okay.
He won the
Still-
Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers in, I believe, 2010.
So that would be the good old Cardinal. No, against the Steelers.
Against the Steelers, they won.
So that's the Packer Super Bowl.
Is it?
Apparently, it is. Is it Randall? No, not Randall Cobb. Greg Jennings.
It is Greg Jennings.
Oh,
Greg Jennings.
look at me. And I doubted myself. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
I think I only realized that because he's on Colin Cowherd all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like he always brings up the Dolphins as like going from the Packers, which was like really well run, to the Dolphins, and him always being like, yeah, it was really bad there.
I was gonna use the hint, but then I couldn't remember if it was him or Donald Driver in that legendary Madden video clip where it's like he put the
No,
team
it's
on
Greg
his back.
Jennings.
Okay, I couldn't remember
It
if it was
is
him or
Greg
Donald
Jennings.
Driver, but I was gonna use that one.
I would have gotten that one right away.
That's what I thought. I was like, he'd know that.
Oh yeah, the hardest hidden safety in the league.
Put
That's
the
a
team
classic.
on its back.
Listen, children. We might be youngins out here, but if you haven't looked up that video, you've never seen it, you're making a grave mistake. Go look it up. Do yourself a favor. It's fantastic stuff. Fantastic. But what else was fantastic, Josh, was UFC 267. And of course, Josh, I blame the UFC and me being able not to watch this. I didn't get to watch a single moment, not even
You
highlights of
thought
it.
it was nighttime when it was going to be on?
No, bro, first of all, who starts a pay per view at 2 in the afternoon? I was
They're
at
in Abu
work.
Dhabi.
I had to work from 12 to 7. Didn't get to see a single moment of it. So I'm a little upset. I'm gonna go back and watch the highlights after the show. But Josh, I know that you were tuned in. I saw you tweeting about it. I saw Mr. MMA guy Alec Carr over there tweeting about it as well. He was in the comments last week. And speaking of those comments, make sure you're watching us over there on the YouTubes, over there on the Twitch. I literally could not think of it for a quick second. Twitch, YouTube, make sure you go and check us out over there because we can't see your comments on Twitter anymore. We're a little upset about it. We're going to survive, but we can see your comments over
I
there.
fell for it the other day.
I know you did. You came into my baseball show a little upset and just saying. A little upset. We couldn't even see your comments, but
there were some good comments too. They were flowing with the conversation. I was like, these guys are just out here ignoring me. But no, it's because Twitter's not showing the comments right now.
Well, you know what? Excuse the name, people. But hey, he's liked and subbed us, so I'm going to pull up the comment. Now, the name isn't the PG version. We're not very PG either, but it goes a little far fetched. But thank you, good sir.
Just when Michael joins too.
Yeah, of course. Right when Michael joins, our God-fearing man. Make sure you go check us out on Facebook as well. So yeah, but Josh, how was UFC 267?
It was very, very good. I also was working, so I was only able to catch the last 3 fights, and they were. I mean, I think they were probably the best fights of the night. I haven't seen any other ones, but Islam Makhachev versus Dan Hooker was the first one, and that division, it's a very tough spot for him to be in right now because he's been dominant. I think he's on a 9-fight win streak. He ended this early first round, took him to the ground, got him. He had He had Dan Hooker underneath him and had him in a Kimura. It was just the most dominant ground position I've ever seen. And he's on like a 9-fight win streak, but right now it's going to be Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje, and those guys that are going to be fighting for the title. But I think he's going to get this in for real. You need to tell
Don't
him.
worry, that isn't PG anyway, so it's fine.
But yeah, I think
an old Italian woman. She doesn't care anymore.
I think because this is the first time Makhachev has fought someone like around his ranking. I'm pretty sure Dan Hooker was 6 and he was 5. I think he's going to be a little bit before he gets a title shot, but he looks more and more dominant every fight. And then Corey Sandhagen versus Petr Yan. Corey Sandhagen fought the best fight you can fight against Petr Yan. I mean, every time Petr started looking like he was going to take control, backed away, reset, and took control of the octagon, he fought a magnificent fight, and I still think he lost 4 rounds to 1. Like, I think he only won the first round. That's how good Petr Yan is. But credit to Corey Sandhagen. Even when, Petr Yan threw a beautiful spinning back fist and followed it up with a left hook. Looked like Donkey Kong, in Smash Bros. When you do that move where he just spins like crazy. It looked like that. And he hit him to the ground and went to finish it. But Corey Sandhagen wound up getting control in the grapple and got back up. And he did that like twice. So I was impressed with Sandhagen. But right now, Petr Yan is the interim champion, but we all know he's the real champion because I think both of those guys are better than Aljamain Sterling. So I think that was probably the real title fight we just saw. But we'll have to see Aljamain versus Petr Yan again just to clarify that Petr would kick his ass any day. So we're going to see that again. But, yeah, Petr's still the champ. And then the main event, you couldn't – it's a movie-like scenario, Glover Teixeira, he's been fighting for a long time, didn't get to the UFC until he was into his 30s. He's 42 now, getting his title shot, going against Jan Blachowicz, which is one of the most – he just beat Israel Adesanya, who hadn't lost a fight. This guy's really, really good. And Glover Teixeira gets him to the ground in the first round, wins the first round, takes him down again and gets him on his stomach and rear neck chokes him for the win. I mean, I don't think anyone. Well, he was a pretty big underdog. I'm sure some people took him, but I certainly was not even thinking about Glover Teixeira winning this fight. I thought he wouldn't be able to get him to the ground enough, but he did, and he submitted him. I mean, it was crazy. Shout out to Glover Teixeira, true legend of the sport, not just UFC, but I mean, he was in Brazil fighting for most of his career, so he's just a legend in the sport in itself. But I mean, finally getting to be champion at age 42. I mean, that's crazy. So I think Blachowicz will get another shot at it. I'm not sure if they're going to have a rematch or he's going to move on to somebody else. But I mean, it was crazy to see. So shout out to them.
Josh, I can only take your word for it. I truly can. Although I did see the moment that Teixeira did win. Looks fantastic. And that, like you said, nice rear naked choke.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine that? I'm good. I'm good, bro.
Yeah. I'm all right. You win.
I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it once again. There's something wrong with these people that they wake up in the morning. You know what? I want to get choked out today. You know what I'm feeling?
Like, I'm okay with
that. I'm okay with getting choked out. Why not? There's something wrong with them. Now, power to them, because let me tell you something. Absolutely wonderfully entertaining. I'm good, though. I'll leave that to you guys. I'll sit here and talk and sound like an idiot, but actually doing it, nah, I'm good. Never been better, in fact.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Josh, you also got another UFC on our minds. UFC 268 now. They just keep coming right at us.
Yeah, I love it. Back-to-back championship fight weekends. I love it. Finally, because there's a bit of a layoff for a little while. I mean, we even had like a couple weekends in a row with no fights. And they're like,
no fight nights or nothing, Dana.
Yeah.
And they're what are you doing?
Dana's like, I got you. Don't worry. Two title fights back-to-back weekends. And this card is stacked from top to bottom. We're not going to go through the whole card because me and Connie know very little about the up-and-coming fighters. So I think we're going to focus on the ones that we both know about. And, you know, the top three fights, that's what we're going to look at. So the first fight, Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. And, you know, last time we saw Gaethje was last year when he fought Khabib, and obviously lost that fight. But I think losing to Khabib doesn't really hurt you too much because it's Khabib.
Like losing a prime Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it's not something to really take down their record or anything. But Michael Chandler, last time we saw him, he almost won the belt against Charles Oliveira after, I mean, he knocked down Oliveira, then the bell rang, and then the top of the next round he goes in and Oliveira knocks him out. So we know Michael Chandler has heavy hands. We know Gaethje's one of the best fighters, stand-up fighters, boxers in the UFC. So this fight's going to be absolutely insane. And I am going to roll with. Connie, you make the pick first. Gaethje.
I just want Gaethje to win. He seems like a cool dude. I remember his nice little interview. I've watched a few interviews of him. I just like him. So why not?
He is a cool dude. I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go with my Chandler. Because I think he's gonna win. I think Michael Chandler's gonna win. But I'm gonna be rooting for Gaethje because, like you said, he's a cool guy. And then the next fight, Connie's favorite fighter in the whole world, Thug Rose Namajunas, is rematching against Zhang Weili. After, I mean, I think we both picked Rose in the fight last time, but I don't think either of us saw her getting a head kick at the top of the fight.
No, definitely didn't see that one coming.
Because Zhang Weili is that doesn't speak anything about her. It was just perfectly timed and perfectly placed. Zhang Weili is still, I mean, she might even come to this fight as the favorite. I haven't looked at it yet, but it's going to be very close in terms of betting. Zhang Weili is so good, but I just feel like it'd be wrong to not go with Thug Rose. You know, you got to go with Thug Rose.
You know what, Josh? You're absolutely correct, because let me tell you something. There's three people I won't pick against solely based on me liking them. I don't care if they were 75 years old going up against a prime UFC fighter. I'm still picking them because I like them. Thug Rose, John Jones, and Conor. Listen, I mean, Conor. I mean, how can you not like Conor? I mean, unless you're a fan of Khabib, you probably hate Conor. But other than that, you usually like him. And John Jones, John Jones is the only reason I ever watched UFC ever. So I'm not picking against him. And then Thug Rose. I mean, come on. How you not liking the Thug? So guess what? first round knockout again, just to prove a point.
Back.
Just to prove a point.
I'm not gonna go with first round knockout because I could see Zhang Weili finishing this fight on her own, but I think it's gonna be just an amazing fight. And unfortunately, I feel like we might have to leave it up to the judges, which is the worst outcome of any fight, is to leave it up to the judges because they seem to always get it wrong. Even if they pick the right fighter, it's the wrong score. But just to speak on Conor real quick, he was tweeting out because Islam Makhachev, he's part of Khabib's like group, like they train together and everything. He's pretty much no, you're talking about Hasbulla. Hasbulla stole the show, though.
I can't remember which one I like. There's one of them I don't like, and the other one I do. I don't think I like the one in Khabib's camp. I think he annoys me. I think I like the other dude.
Well, Islam Makhachev, he's the one that beat Dan Hooker, and Conor was tweeting at them after. He's like, you had to get your little midget brother to come in and take the reins for you and all this. And I was like, Conor, chill out. But yeah, and people were mad at John Jones too all night. They're like, you're making us watch these weak ass heavyweight fights all night, just waiting for you to not get caught up. Like people were mad at him too. But I agree with you.
John's killing me. Like John is textbook definition. You're killing me, Smalls.
They're gonna have to have like his UFC events in like Idaho. Like it's gonna have to be somewhere where there is nothing that can get him in trouble. Like
like North Dakota.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. No, you know what? Put that bitch in Canada. And I don't mean the populated parts of Canada. I mean like the part where Rocky was training. Yeah, although I think that was Russia, but you know what I mean. Same thing. Same thing. Listen, they're the same country.
That's true.
Besides the whole, political part of it. But it's everything is snow and I eat bears.
But to round out the night, we are getting a rematch I think everybody's been waiting for. Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington too. The first fight was an absolute war. I mean, Kamaru breaks his jaw. Colby comes back swinging, acts like his jaw isn't even broken. Eventually gets knocked out, and now it's been nonstop talking from him. But Kamaru Usman is pound for pound the best fighter on the planet right now, and he's on an amazing win streak. I mean, I think Colby Covington's an amazing fighter. And I don't like him just because, the act he puts on, but I do think it's all an act because anytime I see him in interviews and stuff, he seems like a good guy. But, yeah.
Don't you worry. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that because we might have a new GOAT in the NFL. I'm just saying. Just a little tease for you.
But, yeah. Well, let's get to it. I'm picking Kamaru Usman, and I think you are too.
I am. Just because.
We don't root for the MAGA hat.
God, is he annoying.
Because he was almost out of the UFC, so I had to start staging all this stupid. Because that's not him, dude.
I have heard that's not what he's like at all.
Yeah, that's all I hear about it. So I hate him, but I don't hate him. Like, do I hate the character? Like,
you know what it's like? It's like the WWE.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
it's like I hate this person because they beat up my favorite wrestler, and then
you meet him
talk to him in real life, and it's like big fan.
You're pretty nice.
You know what, Josh? And before we get into the NFL, since I just said big fan. Now, it's been well established that I am undoubtedly and forever will be a Billie Eilish stan. It's just a fact. Just a fact.
Oh,
she's fantastic. She's the
best.
Love her. I mean, I watch all her interviews, everything. I am a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just for shits and giggles, looked up her meet and greet stuff, bro. I don't understand how normal people have ever met a celebrity.
I don't either, man.
Bro, it's like $2,500 for a ticket. One, not two. One.
Just for like a not even 30-second interaction. Not
you
even
get a picture and you're told to leave. So listen, Billy, if you ever see this and you want to slide, take it maybe two so I can bring somebody, feel free. If not, just swing one. I'll go alone. I don't care. I don't really like that many people anyway.
I'll go solo. I prefer it anyway.
Exactly. Maybe I'll go solo, leave with Billy. You know what I mean?
Hey, confidence. Okay.
I'm just saying. But with that being said, let's move on to the NFL, like you said, Josh. And we got some games to go through. Obviously, me and Josh are going to go through our two teams. We'll go through some other games, and then we're going to hit the NFL topic. It's going to be a very NFL-heavy show, as it usually is. But hey, NFL dominates, and we will start it off with my boys. Get them out of the way. And you know what? Last week, Josh, I think it was a get them out of the way segment. We we had to talk about them because that's my team. We always talk about your Panthers no matter what because it's your team. But this week, no. This was important. Logan out here, I saw Nick Cannon in the hospital made a joke about his wife at the time, Mariah. See, now, Logan, if you make a joke about Mariah, you might get punched.
No, you gotta go. I mean,
unless you're on Wild and Out because that's all they do.
If you go on Wild and Out and you don't have jokes like make fun of Mariah and Nick, like that's all you gotta do.
Chico so and Carlos, when they do old school, when they do the old school rap battles, funniest thing you ever see, ever. Go look them up. But with that being said, let me get back to my boys, baby. And the Patriots go in there, and I don't know why I ever thought they wouldn't. Just kidding. I absolutely know why I thought they wouldn't, because I didn't see it coming. But they go in there, win 27-24. Mac Jones, all right. 18-35, 218. Damian Harris did what he was supposed to do, 23 carries, 80 yards, a touchdown. And then you look at Herbert. Josh, I got a question. I got a little trivia question for you. Now, Justin Herbert, he has his 2 lowest QBR games of all time. Who are they against?
New England and New England?
You're damn right it is. I believe last year when they beat them 45-0, it was his lowest. And then this game was his second lowest. He was a solid 18 for 35.
Mac and his numbers are very similar this week. Very similar.
Yeah, they were both 18-35. Literally both of them. Except Herbert had 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 interceptions. And that last interception is what really killed them. The first one, it kind of seemed like it bounced off a receiver's hands type of thing, ends up in a Patriot interception. But that last one definitely killed them. It ended up being a pick six to Adrian Phillips. Obviously kind of turned the whole thing around. They go down at that point, and they could, just never recover from it. But this is big. Like, this is a very important win for the Patriots because I think when you get to this stage of the season, and we're, basically halfway now. I mean, with the 17-game schedule, I guess you can never technically be halfway through. But we're basically halfway through now. And, you just take an updated look at the standings here as I go over to playoffs. There's 7 spots in the playoffs now, right, Josh? Because the top 2, only the top seed has a bye. Patriots are in 8th. And here's why I don't really understand, and I know that there's probably a reason for. Oh, that's why. It's because the Chargers have a higher winning percentage because they've had their bye week already. But they're the only team in front of them are the Chargers. And, they now own the tiebreaker over said Chargers. So that was a very important game. Now, I thought it would have a different outcome just because, Justin Herbert aged from last year. Obviously, last year was his rookie season. He kind of just got thrown in there. He's been playing unbelievable so far this year. They have their full array of weapons. Even Austin Eckler went. I didn't think he was actually going to end up playing in this game, but he did, which was obviously important for them. He's kind of their de facto Christian McCaffrey, as you would say.
Except he plays.
Yeah, well, Josh, I'm going to really need McCaffrey to play this week, though, because I didn't realize that DK and Mike Evans both have a bye this week. So my wide receiver core is going to be hurting this week. But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, the Patriots go in there. They get the win. And it was weird. Mac started off really good, and then he wasn't very good. They had that deep pass, and it seemed like everything after that, Mac really couldn't get in a rhythm. But, they did what they had to do. And I think the best part of that game was the last possession that the Patriots had. And, they took the clock down a lot. They were already up by 7. That was after the pick 6. Yeah. It must have been.
And then the Chargers commented. And then
yeah. So the Patriots get the ball. They drain a lot of the clock. And then they give and then they end up kicking a field goal too. So now you're up by 10 points. Chargers get the ball back. They score a touchdown with 40 seconds left, which, by the way, I don't care who it is in the entire – get Jason Sehorn out of retirement. Anybody. I literally do not care who it is. and replace Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills might be the most useless cornerback I have ever seen in NFL history. I actually don't understand how you can be that bad. I literally have no idea how Jalen Mills is that bad at football. You have one job. Don't let people in the end zone. He was basically double teaming whoever caught that touchdown pass. I can't even remember who it was at this very moment. Jalen Mills still lets up a touchdown with 40 seconds left. CJ, my fellow co-host and pass fan, in the building as well. Pass pulled out their asses those last 5 plays. I wouldn't say all that because, like I said, Chargers scored that touchdown. 40 seconds left. They go for the onside kick. And poetic justice, Josh, you know who recovered that onside kick?
No.
It would be Mr. Hunter Henry, who the Chargers let go in free agency, came over to the Pats. Henry looked like he was going to score a touchdown earlier on in the game. He got tackled at the 2-yard line or something like that. But, yeah, a good overall win for them, the win that they definitely needed, and a win that I didn't really expect, in all honesty. I thought the Chargers, coming off of a bye especially, they would have performed a lot better, but I don't know why. I doubt Belichick in these games. I've doubted Belichick in other times, but games against first and second year quarterbacks, I don't know why I do it. The man is literally an animal against them. It's illegal what he's doing to them. I think he's plus 25. He's 38-12 or something like that. He's unbelievable. Real tough game. The Chargers shooting themselves in the foot towards the end of that game. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that interception by Herbert was killer for them. If they had any chance, that can't happen. But yeah, a huge win for them. And then the only other thing, if I'm looking at the whole game, that I take as a negative, I mean, you're at the goal line. I think 3rd and goal. They go. They obviously do another play. They don't get it to Hunter Henry. Now you're at the 1-yard line because there was actually a flag on that play as well, and it was, I believe, a defensive holding. And Patriots get a new set of downs right at the goal line. You're thinking, I mean, this has to be a touchdown. You've had this is now by the time this series ends, you'll have run 8 plays inside the 2-yard line. And what do? 4th down. They throw a fade route to Jacoby Myers. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I understand that Myers is disgustingly one of the better wide receivers on this team, but we're not talking about Gronk. We're not talking about Calvin or Julio or a big wide bro. I don't even know how tall Jacoby Myers is. There's no way that man's over 6 foot.
No, he's probably 6'1", 6'2".
I don't think so. Now, I'm going to look it up.
He's at least 6 foot in corners. I mean, who was he matched up against? Samuel Jr.?
I don't know. I don't know if he was out yet at that point.
He's 6'1". But
Let's see.
5'11" can also
right
look
now.
6'1".
All right, I lied. He's 6'2".
Yes, I think.
Still kind of very surprising. He doesn't play 6'2", I'll tell you that. But still, even if he is taller, he's not a go up and grab 50-50 ball type of wide receiver. And here's the other thing too. I didn't like the play design. It's not like he was out wide 1-on-1. It was kind of like a bunch, and then he just ran to the corner of the end zone. It was I hated that play. They ended up not getting it, and you just ran 8 plays inside the 2-yard line and didn't score a touchdown. You got to get better in that spot. Because if you lose that game, that's exactly the moment you go back and look at it and what the hell did we just do? But hey, other than that, great win. And I talked a lot about the Patriots. So, Josh, the other question in this was, are the Chargers as good as we thought? And I assume that you're going to tackle that part of it.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch this game. I was not home when this game was happening. I watched the last little bit. I think I tuned in 2 plays before the pick. I don't think it's so much. I do think the Chargers got a little bit overhyped early on this season.
It might have had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Might have.
I just think they're still very good. I just think they need more games together. I mean, Justin Herbert hasn't even completed 2 seasons, and earlier this year people were talking about them, getting to the Super Bowl and stuff. I just think it's a little bit early for that.
What kind of idiot would say that?
Definitely not Connie. Couldn't be him. But I think they're good. Just have a long way to go. I still think they got to add some pieces. Rashawn Slater, they found their star left tackle. They obviously have their quarterback, have their running backs. Their receiver core is good. I still think they got to add a little bit to that defense, and I still think they got to add a little bit more to that offensive line. But outside of that, I do think they're good, just not as good as everyone had them at the beginning of the season. And with that pick, I think that was obviously the pick that ended the game for them. Yeah, they need to stop getting penalties too. I think just late game situations have been their Achilles heel. I mean, these past 2 seasons, last year it happened to them almost every game. But that pick, I think it was just miscommunication. I'm pretty sure it was Jared Cook that was who he was looking at, and I just think they weren't on the same page. I think he was supposed to be like a check down the flat, and he wasn't anywhere really near that. But a great play by Adrian Phillips too, former Charger. So that's obviously what lost them the game. But I I still think the Chargers are good. I just don't think right now they can be all the way up there. They kind of remind me of the Bills last year. You know, like we hyped them up a lot. Josh Allen came into his own. They finally got him a receiver. I feel like it's in a different way, but they're kind of how they were last year. So
Yeah, I agree with that. They're definitely they're absolutely still a very good team. I think we all know that. It's just their Achilles heel, man. They have to get better at run defense. Like it is bad. I think it's the worst in the league, honestly, and like not like theoretically. Like I
no,
actually think it is.
I think
So they if they fix that up, because listen, they're pretty deep at corner, which is a good thing apparently because they had some injuries yesterday. Asante Samuel Jr. went out. I believe they started the game missing their top corner as well. So now you're down to your third, and I mean their third is Chris Harris Jr., who back in his Bronco days was one of the best corners in the entire league, if not the best. But he's definitely not the same player at this point anymore, anyway. Uh, so it's good that they have depth because they clearly needed it, but they're almost there. Like I said, if they can fix that run defense, maybe add. Now I don't even think that they need a big third name wide receiver, but if they can just add, maybe a speedster that can go over the middle and create some more plays, something of that nature. Because you have your third down target key now, and he's literally the best third down wide receiver maybe ever. I mean, he converts every single third down in the entire history of the Chargers organization, it seems like. Uh, you have Mike Williams, your 50-50 ball, and then if you can just get a speedster that can take the top off the defense and something like that, I think it would really help them out a lot. But fix up that run defense, make a few minor changes. Justin Herbert's only going to get better every single year, so I think that they're right there, right there. But we move on from them to your team, the Panthers and the Falcons. Josh, give me the rundown. Now, I will say I did watch a lot of this game too. So, I got my thoughts, but give me a little rundown.
you might have watched more than me because I after the very first play of the game on offense, Chuba Hubbard fumbles the ball. We turn it over. I turned it off until the second half. I did not watch any of the first half. I was like,
What
"This is
kind of fan?
well, you have not dealt with long periods of pain from a team. Okay, last year was your very first taste of not having a great team, and you still won 7 games, and you acted like you guys had the number one pick and went 0-16.
I wish we did.
But it's tough sometimes sitting through these games. And that first half, I'm glad I didn't watch it because nothing happened for us. And the second half, I mean, the only reason we won this game is because we finally have a kicker that can make kicks. Zen Gonzalez put up 12 points for us, so that was huge. And then we got a pick from Shaq Thompson that put us in the red zone, I think. I think that only happened because someone stepped on Matt Ryan's hand and it would not stop bleeding, so he just
Bro, looked like that man was in a horror movie.
Yeah. But, I mean, we came into this game and Matt Rule and Joe Brady all week, all they said is, we need to run the ball more. We need to run the ball more. I didn't think that meant 5 read options for Sam Darnold in the second half. I mean, we almost killed him. He got lit up on a run, knocked his helmet off, and went out for the game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing that? And then we used Amir Abdullah, who we just signed this week too. We used him like he was Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he did kind of good in the second half. He was getting some good yardage, but it's just like we have no game plan for this offense. I mean, we lead the league in drops too, so throwing the ball is not really
you do.
Robbie Anderson got blown up too. I mean, it just seems like we're not in sync at all on offense. I mean, I know Christian McCaffrey has a huge impact on the offense, but the second he leaves, it's like we don't have an offense anymore. Just it changed everything for us. But on the good side, our defense is still really, really good. Gilmore played his first game, 4 assists, and he got a pick to end the game. Our secondary was locking up Kyle Pitts for most of the day.
Thanks a lot for that. Thanks a lot. It's not like I took his, over yardage on Underdog Fantasy. We can use code Gen Z to get $10 on your first deposit, by the way. But I took Kyle Pitts over on yardage, thinking, Calvin Ridley's taking a little mental health break. Shout out Calvin Ridley, by the way. Listen, your mental health very, very important. Very important. Don't let anybody tell you anything different other than that, because then they're idiots. So I thought Kyle Pitts was going to be very much involved. 13 yards. 13. Appreciate it.
Well, he had a lot of big plays that could have happened. I think he had one drop. It was like a 45-yard completion. He just dropped it down the sideline. But A.J. Boye was in that man's face all day, and he was playing really, really good. Yeah, I mean, he's seeing that right now, but he also is just he has weapons now. Like, he was good with Robbie and all that in New York a couple games, and now he doesn't even look for Robbie. He looks for DJ Moore like he's an scapegoat, but then he fires it in 98 miles an hour and no one can catch the damn ball. So it's the offense just all out of sync. We won this game, like I said, because Zane Gonzalez made 4 field goals. That's really all it was. And then Chuba Hubbard got a late game touchdown to put us up by like 9, I think. But the defense and our kicker is the only reason we won this game. I think we're in 7th place right now. I do
believe so.
I think the Saints are right ahead of us. So I mean, we're 4-4, but if Sam Darnold is out, if Christian McCaffrey stays out, I mean, our defense is going to keep us having a chance in these games. But if our offense can't move the ball, then it's going to be pointless. But I mean, yeah, we got the win. I guess it's cool. We beat Atlanta. Woo. But it's not really that much, because I was excited to see us run the ball more. I was like, yeah, let's get Royce Freeman going maybe. Let's see what Amir Abdullah can do. But no, let's run Sam Darnold everywhere like he's Cam Newton. Like, what are we doing? Like, if you want Cam, just go get him.
You were saying Sam Darnold the running back earlier in the year.
Yeah, because it was funny. Now it's real. Like, it was funny when he'd get like 1 rush a game and it was for a 12-yard touchdown. But now it's like 8 carries. Like what are we doing here? Like,
Athlete Sam, bro.
It was fun.
You never heard of his nickname from high school?
What was it?
Speedy Sam.
Speedy Sam. Okay. Yeah, well, he's slow as shit. That's why he got blown up in that play and almost took his head off. And I put no blame on him for that. It was the right read. It got a good first down. But what bothers me about the play is he just scrambled the play before. Scrambled for about 15, got the first down. Then we hurry up, and we're like, oh, let's use him again. Let's run him again after he almost just got killed. And then he does get killed and gets taken out of the game. And I was in concussion protocols. I mean, I love P.J. Walker, though. I am excited about that. P.J. Walker.
XFL legend, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
MVP. Legend. You have an MVP as a quarterback,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's kind of the norm around here, in the past decade or so. So, but yeah, it is
the norm.
I hate seeing that. I hate seeing that.
MVP
I hate seeing that happen to Sam Darnold. Maybe Christian McCaffrey comes back. Maybe this offense gets back on track. But yeah, injuries been killing us, and Matt Rule's going to kill us too.
Josh doesn't do Cam Newton slander. One day he'll learn that he wasn't good. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So it was an interesting game, to say the least. It seemed like interesting in the fact that almost nothing happened, and it just didn't go the way that I was expecting it to go. Obviously, I didn't know about the Ridley thing before it happened. I don't think that really would have affected it too much, maybe.
They claimed that too.
Well, I think the biggest problem is you guys got to get your wide receivers over there on those machines, bro.
For real.
20 drops? We're at the 8th game of the season.
It's embarrassing. You know how much I hyped up this receiving core coming into the year? It's embarrassing.
Talking about DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson.
Weeks 1 through 5, Robbie never showed up.
Never.
Non-existent.
You better hope that week 12 to 17, Robbie's going to show up.
Maybe it just flipped this year, but I doubt it.
But yeah, I think the drops obviously um, kill them because it just hurts drives. And I mean, I feel like that's the other thing. I feel like drops are so like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like depleting. I guess that's technically the word. I think. Uh,
Detrimental.
well, detrimental to the health, of course. But it feels like you have a big play and then your wide receiver, 20-yard play, maybe, blah, 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 whatever, and he drops the ball. And there's
Demoralizing.
like there's no, yes, demoralized. That's a good word too. Look at us. We should be, listen, if you ever want to learn some English, people, come to the shows too. We're basically your teachers. Just saying. Need Robbie to be dirt for one more week, bro. CJ, who you playing in fantasy? That guy, Robbie Anderson.
No, he wants that because we play you guys this week.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, don't worry. We'll get to those picks. CJ, you might have to stick around for the pick segment, brother. Or, hop on the, CJ, you're always welcome to hop on the show, too. Don't you worry. We might have to have a guest on, Josh, soon. Haven't had a guest in a while.
Been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
So, CJ, let me know if you need that link or anything. But, yeah, I feel like drops just kill offensive drives, man. Like, that has
because you see the guy wide open, it's like, oh, that's money. And
no, because like it hurts me as a fan. It hurts me as a fan. There's no way your quarterback isn't looking at you after you just dropped the ball and doesn't want to go over there and kill you.
Especially when it's on like second down.
Like that drop that Nelson Aguilar had against the Cowboys in overtime for the Patriots to this very second.
That's 40 yards.
Makes me want to walk to Foxborough and punch him right in the throat. Now, don't get me wrong. You could throw me probably 100 passes, and I might catch 5, maybe if I, on a good day. After the first, 85,
5 out of 100 is awful, Connie. That is.
Listen, they're throwing those footballs pretty hard, Josh.
Are you getting it from like is Mac Jones throwing you a slant across the middle, or is like a jugs this year?
No, I think on a jugs I got it. I'm right here with it.
Okay.
Stop it. I'm right
here.
Jug
machine is scary sometimes. You look that thing right in the middle, and you see the ball come up. It's like, oh.
No, but listen, I feel like these quarterbacks out here slinging the rock too.
Jeez, yeah. Sam's to blame for our drops, man. Not completely, but some of them. He's firing them in there when they don't need to be that fast.
Let's see, what do we got here? What's the fourth one? You go for it, and the wide receiver's open 6 yards. Granted, Butterfingers. Listen, Butterfingers. Problem out here. Stop eating so much Halloween candy, Panthers receivers. Josh, speaking of Halloween, it was Halloween yesterday. I need a top 3 candy bars off the top of your head right now.
Ooh, top 3 candy. I don't know, man. There's few candy bars. Well, not few. I like more than I don't like. I think. Are we going candy bars or candy?
No. I need strict candy bars.
Strict candy bars.
Because I'm not much of a candy guy, so I couldn't even name a
candy
top
bar guy.
Oh, this is tough. Listen, I'll give you my top 3. Ready?
Okay.
Well, first of all, this is a very important, controversial question to some people. Can I consider a Reese's a candy bar?
That's why I asked candy bar. Like, that's not a bar. It's a cup. It's literally called a Reese's cup.
But that's the thing. I still feel like people, if you were to classify Halloween candies, people still classify that as a candy bar.
But those people are stupid because it's not.
Well, guess what? For this sake, I'm classifying it as a candy bar. That Reese's is number 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say Reese's, but then I didn't know if it was a bar.
No, I think it's considered a candy bar.
Right, I agree with you on that.
Because when I think of candy, I think of hard candy.
But
I think of like Jolly Ranchers.
That's a different kind of candy. There can be like just chocolate in general, chocolate bars. Then, because then
go chocolate bars then.
Well, I told you I don't know.
Well, listen. Here's the only correct order. Ready? Goes Reese's. Number 2, I'm putting a Twix right there. I got the Twix at number 2.
Twix are good.
And then number 3, classic Snicker. Classic.
I'm a nougat guy, so I like.
I honestly don't know if I've ever had one.
No, nougat's like in candy bars, like 3.
Oh, nougat! I thought you said nuke it, and I was like,
"Is that guy?" Yeah, Nuke it.
Listen, you never know with these candy bar names these days.
No, like Three Musketeers. I'm a big fan of those.
See, overrated.
I think they're overrated too, but I like them. They're nice. I also like peanuts in my candy sometimes. So Snickers.
Big nut guy.
You always got to do this. You can never. You just can't.
And listen, by the way, a very close third place, or technically fourth, but like, a 3B type of guy, Butterfingers. Oh, what a candy.
I was gonna say Butterfingers, but I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I love candy, but I don't know if I can rank them because, it's kind of like with movies. Like I don't see very many movies I don't like. I don't think there's any.
That's
candy
what I'm saying too. People ask me my favorite movie, and I'm like, bro, I don't know. I just watch them. They're all fine to me. All right, look at this. Logan in here. Snickers, Hershey's cookies and cream. I wasn't expecting that.
Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth. No,
Baby
see,
Ruth.
you lost me on the Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth's underrated.
You know what? Candy bar should actually be outlawed, by the way.
What?
And I think I'm going to start a petition for it. There's no reason to ever give somebody an Almond Joy.
I know, dude. Look, why do they exist and why are they everywhere?
Like, there's no reason for an Almond Joy.
Especially
because, here's my thing, too. Ready? How come the one without the pecan has to be dark chocolate?
Like, yeah, for real.
Because, first of all, dark chocolate, another thing, outlaw.
I hate dark chocolate. I hate
awful.
Chocolate. It is
terrible.
Gross.
Never should be consumed.
Yeah.
But if I want milk chocolate, I got to get the one with the pecan in it. I don't want it.
You just can't have it your way.
Actually, no, it's not a pecan. It's an almond. Like I said, Almond Joys.
My dad loves Almond Joys. He used to always take them on Halloween. And I'm like,
no, I'm good.
Take those, man. Yeah, take them all.
Nope, I'm good. You can have them. Also, Hershey's Cookies and Cream, overrated. I prefer the normal one.
I just think I had it too often as a kid that I don't like.
They're too sweet.
Yeah, I don't like it anymore.
This was a very.
I don't like Hershey's, by the way. I don't like Hershey's generally.
Really? It's kind of
Hershey's Kisses, man. Get those out of my face. Get those.
Really?
Get them out of my face. Get them out.
Those are fighting words.
No, get those out of my face.
You're telling me during Christmas time you don't like a nice little Hershey Kiss with caramel inside?
Well, that's different. I'm just talking about
it's not.
Yeah, if you're adding caramel, yeah.
It's caramel, by the way.
I don't care. We're not going to argue over that.
We're not doing
this.
Oh, are you a crayon guy?
No. Crayon? How do you even say that? I say crayon.
I say crayon, yeah. But there's a lot of crayon people out there. I'm just saying.
Then how do you go to caramel from crayon? Could be crayon, caramel, but you go crayon caramel. We can get fancy with the caramel.
Well, you say caramel.
Caramel. That's how it's spelled, isn't it?
You know what, Josh? We're moving on. I can't even do it anymore. Let's go over.
I just want to say you started it.
Let's go over to the Saints and the Bucks. Obviously, the game that we all saw. Oh, see, Logan, you just ruined it again. Crunch bars. You ever give me a crunch bar, automatically throwing hands. No, throwing hands immediately.
She kind of picky, man. He's picky.
I'm not that picky. You look at me. You think I'm picky with food? Look at me. Come on, let's be real here.
You're picky. You're picky.
Although, you know what's weird? Not a big crunch bar fan, but you ever get those like vanilla yogurts with like the crunch pieces in them? That's fantastic. Yeah, like those yogurts, like the mini Reese's Pieces too. M&M. Yeah. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Oh yeah, that's some good stuff. But anyway, we'll go to the Saints and the Bucks. Obviously, the outcome that we all saw coming. Everybody knew that Jameis would end up getting hurt, and Trevor Siemian, who hasn't thrown a pass in 3 years or maybe more. 2018 was his last pass. So that's 3 years. He was going to come in and lead the Saints to a victory, and at one point I think they were up like 16 points. And then of course what we all saw coming with Tom Brady, the person who everybody picks to get a game-winning drive. They leave him, I think, a minute 45 seconds, 2 timeouts. Everybody knows that they're going to go down and score. Second play, pick 6. We all saw it going that way. But Josh, give me your thoughts on the game, and then obviously the big news out of this: Jameis is done for the season. He tore his ACL in that game. I think he damaged the MCL a little bit. I don't think it is fully torn, but I did say they damaged it. So Trevor Siemian, I don't know. I don't know what happens now. Is it Trevor Siemian because of that game, and they leave Taysom Hill, to the gadget roll thing, or do they immediately plug Taysom Hill into the starting quarterback role, and then bring Trevor Siemian in, kind of like what they used to do with Drew Brees every once in a while. I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do. So, Josh, give me your thoughts on the game, and then obviously the whole Jameis situation.
Yeah, I didn't catch too much of this game either. The afternoon games, I did
Josh,
not
did you watch
get
anything?
to see too much. I watched the morning games. I didn't get to catch all the afternoon games. I saw the picks. That's all I got to see were the pick sixes. I guess I tuned in around the right time because I did see his pick six, and that's not something you see from Brady too often. Even during this game, most of his throws were even if they weren't complete, the right decision from what I saw in the highlights. But I just think it's you either I don't know. It's just a weird decision from him there. He like that's a ball you have to know like your receiver is going to win that one because I think he went like back shoulder and it was just like you have to put it in the perfect spot at the perfect time and it just wasn't there. Uh, but I mean the Saints they they did what they normally do. Their defense kind of carries them through most of it, just keeps them in a position to win. I didn't see anything that really shocked me, but I think with the Jameis situation, it sucks because he had been decent throughout the year. I mean, what were they like 5 and? They got like 5 wins, right? Like 5-2 now.
I believe that they're 5-4. I mean, hold on, give me a yeah, 5-2. I don't know how we said. Not really 5-2.
5-2. I think they had a bye week last week, so they didn't
Oh
get
yeah, okay.
that loss. But
The Saints
yeah,
announced that they are not trying to pick up Cam Newton.
so I think they're gonna roll. I don't think there's too much reason not to roll with Simeon. I don't think he showed any reason not to because I think a lot of people look at that when a quarterback comes in late game because of an injury, and if they don't throw the game away, if they don't play terrible, if they're able to move the ball a little bit, which Simeon was able to do, then they're going to stick with him. You know, they have him on the roster because they trust them to be able to run that offense if they need them to. So I think they'll roll with him for a little bit, and obviously if he doesn't play, they'll throw Taysom in there. But I don't think it's I don't think it's a huge downgrade from Jameis either. Maybe he's a little bit smarter out there than Jameis, but obviously Jameis knows how to make those big plays too. He's got the bigger arm, so that's definitely something they're going to miss. Because I mean, does Michael Thomas play football anymore? Does he play, or did he just take
I
that
don't know
one year?
when he can come back.
What is his problem right now? Like,
He had the ankle surgery like right before training camp started. Remember they were all mad at him because he could have had it done during the offseason and he waited. He pulled a Scottie Pippen, if you remember
well,
the Last Dance documentary.
well, outside of him, most of the receivers are deep threats, so it's going to be interesting to see how they work with Trevor Siemian and what he's good at and what they're good at. Uh, but I don't think Jameis is as huge of a loss as it kind of seems at the moment. But I mean, in this game, it just kind of came down to that last drive, and like you said, we all normally expect Brady to lead him down the field and get that game-winning drive, maybe game-winning kick, take enough time off the clock. But second play turnover, and that kind of seals the game up right there. But I mean, I hate games like this because it's like the Saints won, but just because of that one play. Like the Bucs shouldn't have put themselves in that position anyway. Their defense needed to do a lot more. They gave up some big plays there, but I mean, I don't think it really affects the Bucs too much either. One thing I will say about the Bucs though is they need Antonio Brown. That offense needs Antonio Brown. Like they get
And
the job
Gronk
done.
and Gronk
Yeah,
started the game and then couldn't
yeah,
finish it.
yeah. I think he only had one target and then he was just done. But yeah, they need those two guys, and it's weird to say because they were kind of additions to that already great offense. It's like we have Gronk and AB now too, but the way AB played at the beginning of the year, same with Gronk. I think they started to form that offense around those two guys early in the year, and now I think you just got to keep them healthy now because Mike Evans, obviously, he's a huge part, and so is Chris Godwin, but I think Gronk and AB add different levels to this offense.
Yeah, I'm almost there with you. I think I definitely think it's a loss. Like you said, it's not as big of a loss as you look at some of the other quarterbacks. If you lose somebody like Aaron Rodgers, then your season is over. If you lose Brady, your season's over. If you lose whatever, blah blah. I kind of look at this almost as like the Giants losing Daniel Jones in a
Mm-hmm.
way. Like you know that it's a downgrade, but you're also not like we have no hope at any game now
Right.
type of situation.
It's
Because
not
like
a
you said, Jameis,
Seahawks. It's not a Seahawks.
No. Although Geno Smith out here looking like
I mean, was he 2-1 now?
God. What happened?
Is Geno like 2-1 now? I just remember they won last night. Yes.
They did win. They smoked the Jags. And I think I almost picked them.
I think we both picked them.
Did we? I thought we picked the Seahawks.
Nope, we both picked Jacksonville.
Well, you know what? That's a tough life out here, some would say. I think those second string boys didn't think they would have to play, and now are on the hot seat with Brady. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Obviously, they still had Mike Evans and Godwin in this game, but I mean, Marshawn Lattimore kind of takes Mike Evans out of literally every game that they've ever played. It seems like Mike Evans had that one big play, obviously down the field, scored the touchdown. Chris Godwin went crazy in this game. I think he had like 10 catches, might have had like 150 something yards, I want to say. So he obviously had a very good game. But, yeah, I think obviously wow, I just had a stroke. The main focus coming out of this is the loss of Jameis. And like you said, I don't know how much it affects them. It's so weird. Because
he's got Kamara, and I think you're okay. Like, if Kamara goes
you have
down.
Kamara still, I think they were saying, which is the worst part of all this, in the broadcast that Mike Thomas might come back next week, and they were excited to see how James was going to play with him. So now you're going to get Michael Thomas back, who, for all the slant boy jokes we make and everything like that, as the NFL world makes, he's still a good receiver. I mean, I think he has some record with like catches or something like that.
He broke the record for receptions in a year.
Yeah, so he's obviously a very good player. Like you said, we still have Kamara, and their defense is very good. Like, it is actually very good. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. How do they, get Michael Thomas back? And I think the main thing is just the quarterback. Like, I don't know what they do. I literally have no idea what they're going to do, because is Trevor Siemian going to start, or are they going to say, listen, Taysom Hill, we paid you money, and we kind of need you to do it now? Because he is kind of their gadget guy. But listen, last year when Drew Brees went out, they didn't go to Jameis. Remember this. They didn't go to Jameis. They went to Taysom Hill to replace him. And Jameis would come in and play quarterback every once in a while, and then they would use Taysom Hill in the gadget role that he was used to playing. So I think that's the main story out of this. And then obviously, the Bucs lose this game. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. What are the odds that Brady's going to play that bad again? I mean, he didn't even play that bad, but he had, the 2 interceptions. I believe he had a fumble as well. And I think he has 10 interceptions as a Buck or something like that. And a lot of them are against the Saints. Like, most of them are against the Saints. Yeah, and I also believe he has a losing record against the Saints. So hey, maybe we found the kryptonite. All these years later, all he had to do was play the Saints every week, and he wouldn't have been that good. What a thought. But we go on from there to another game that had some big implications. A back-and-forth game, the Titans and the Colts. Man, I'm so disappointed. Like, I thought I had the Colts. I thought they were right there. They were going to win this game. And I think the biggest thing out of this game is what the hell Carson Wentz did on that play at the goal line. That, quite possibly, is one of the worst plays in NFL history. That's right up there with like Dan Orlovsky forgetting how big the end zone was and just running straight out of bounds. Remember that play when he was on the line?
Jared Allen scared him.
Like, that's right up there with the butt fumble. It's right there. Whatever bad play in NFL history you want, it's right there. Brady 0-3 against the Saints in the past 2 years. This is true. Technically 1-3 because beat them in the playoffs. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, that's just like, what are you doing? And the main thing with the Colts too is they brought Carson Wentz in to not make those plays. Like, those are the plays you were trying to take him away from. He felt like he had to do everything in Philly, and that was a lot of the reason I thought that he started to play bad in Philly, because he felt like he had to do everything because the team wasn't very good. Listen, the Colts are not that bad of a team. They have a solid defense. A nice O line. Jonathan Taylor, a grown man back
They
there
got
running back.
receivers too.
Yeah, Pittman out here mossing people. I think he scored 2
T.Y.
touchdowns
back.
in this game. T.Y. Hilton, doing what he can do. But that's just a terrible play. And what makes it even worse is, I was watching some stuff and you got the experts breaking it down and everything. It's a screen pass. So once you realize the play is dead, just throw it at his feet. Though I think the worst part about it is it's a screen pass. He realizes the play is dead and then tries to avoid tacklers. Like, you're not blocking anybody.
No,
Nobody on that team was being blocked because it's a screen pass. And he's
he
still
switched
trying to
hands.
escape pressure.
He threw it to himself too. He tried
And
switching hands.
he's literally trying to get out of the end zone. He T-Rexes it, and
That's
a
the worst
Titan
spot you can
a
do that.
Titan corner is just sitting there like, oh, look what I got, and catches it right in the end zone, touchdown. And then the annoying part about Carson Wentz, next drive, they go down the field, tie the game. Now, was one of the big reasons they tied the game because of that pass interference call? Now, obviously. But even worse about that is he had the wide receiver had him beat. That could have been a touchdown. And then you get the pass interference and you don't score a touchdown, which is also something to look at. Like, you got to score a touchdown in that situation. You just got first and goal. You got to at least come on, coming away with a field goal there. That's just bad. Kind of like what I said about the Patriots earlier. And then so now you're riding high. You tie the game, whatever, blah blah blah. You get the coin flip in overtime, and he throws another interception. Like, everybody's always going to go back because nobody ever blames anybody. And oh, there's more than a couple plays that lost us this game, and that 3rd and 4 with 25 minutes left in the game. If we converted that, maybe it changes the whole thing. No. You can literally look at this game, and those 2 plays by Wentz lost it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, he did things to help him win the game earlier. I mean, the Titans were down 16 at one point. At the start of the game, it looked like they were going to roll with it. I think they were up 14-0. Ryan Tannehill had 2 interceptions. Derrick Henry, which we'll talk about, obviously wasn't doing too well. And you somehow still lose that game. And it was a big game. They had played each other once in the season so far. The Titans won that game, and now they went into Indy and beat them again. So now, they're heavily in control of that division. Obviously, the big story out of this, though, is that Derrick Henry out 6 to 10 weeks now with a Jones fracture in his foot, I believe. And I would assume, 6 weeks is thinking optimistically, to say the least. This is also a running back who, well, by the way, your feet are kind of important if you're a running back, just saying. So I assume it's going to be more on the longer side of this injury, more towards the 10-week part. Derrick Henry is also a ginormous human being, so I can only imagine that adds, some pressure to the feet as well. But this changes a lot for the Titans too. You're obviously built around Derrick Henry getting the ball 25 times a game and hoping to wear down the defense with just running the ball down their throat. And I don't really think they can do it anymore. Obviously, they signed Adrian Peterson, but this is not, Minnesota Adrian Peterson we're talking about anymore. This is however old, he's got to be like 36.
No, he's only 25.
Yeah, interesting. But this is older Adrian Peterson now. So now, listen, it kind of all falls on Ryan Tannehill. We've always kind of wondered if he could carry a team, and I think he's going to be asked to carry a team now with Henry out, and we'll see what happens. I think the division got a lot closer now, although the Titans won this game and put some space between them and the Colts. Without Henry, that changes their entire offense, and it's going to take some getting used to, word to Drake. So we'll find out what happens going forward.
Yeah, obviously that interception. I think it was a couple shows ago. We kind of talked about how, like, when Derek Carr gets injured and he comes out the tunnel, it's like that movie moment, like he's trying to generate that movie moment. I think Carson Wentz does that in play. Like, he never feels like a play is dead. He feels like he can turn every play that is broken into the greatest play to ever happen. And like you said, I feel like that's kind of due part into what happened last year with Philly, where he was asked to do that, where every play was on what he can make out of it. But it's different now. Like you said, he has Jonathan Taylor. He has a guy like that. Michael Pittman, I put him on the respect train last week because he was a beast and he had 8 catches, 2 touchdowns in this game too. He has receivers. He has Jack Doyle as a tight end who's solid too. He doesn't have to make those plays anymore, but yet he still tries to. This isn't the first time this year where he's getting sacked and he tries to float a ball to someone else and it gets picked. It's not the first time. And this time it was just the worst case scenario for you. You're inside your own 5.
You know the worst part about that is not the first time, and we know it's not going to be the last time.
No, we're going to see it again. And maybe he completes it next time. Maybe he doesn't. We don't know, but we'll see. But it's just a bad decision there, obviously. You're just giving them points right there. And then, I think they had this game won kind of from the opening. I mean, you go up, I think there was like 14 or 16 point lead they had or something. And then Derrick Henry goes down. And then it kind of feels like everything's going the Colts' way. But Ryan Tannehill picked them up and kind of led them back into that game because A.J. Brown is a grown man. Like that, you can't really guard that guy. He's making amazing catches every game. And then I don't know if Julio played this game, but when he gets back,
he did not.
Yeah, when he gets back healthy, it's going to be on Ryan Tannehill a lot due to his Derrick Henry injury. And I disagree with you. I think if anyone is available and durable enough to handle the workload that Derrick Henry did, it's Adrian Peterson. So we'll see what he can do. But I think when you have 2 weapons like that, I think Ryan Tannehill would be just fine. But with the Colts, man, Carson is one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he doesn't try to do these stupid-ass plays. Like, if he's just a pocket passer, like, I wish his ankle stayed sprained. Because when he wasn't moving around, he was looking amazing, making great plays, almost beating the Ravens. And now when he's back to his mobile self, he's making these dumb decisions. But if he can stop shooting himself in the foot and be the quarterback we saw that one year in Philly, then I think they'll be all right. But I love Adrian Peterson. I'm so happy he's going to come back in, and I hope they put him right in there, give him 25 carries a game, get that man the ball.
Well, did you find a time machine or something for AP?
And he was running good with Detroit and Washington. Those were the last 2 places he played. He was running decent. He's not great, not prime AP, but he was running decent.
You're right. I don't know. I don't know if AP at this elder stage is handling 25 carries a game.
I think he's got it. He's been resting up. He's been rested, man. He's ready to go now.
Now, just real quick, you think that this ends the Titans' playoff chances or what?
6 to 10 weeks is like, I think it's going to be closer to 10 than it is going to be 6. So it'll probably be 9 weeks at the least. And we're in week 9 now. So they'd have to keep control of the division, get out of the wild card round, and then maybe you get Derrick Henry back, which I do think is possible if they can keep it at Julio Jones get going. But I don't see them, even if Derrick Henry comes back earlier, I don't see it working out because I do think that hurts them. And I haven't looked at their schedule, but I don't know. I think Derrick Henry's obviously losing 80% of their production from each game because he's what opens up routes for A.J. Brown and Julio. So, yeah, I do think this kind of kills it for him. Unless Tannehill steps up.
Yeah, I think that they're going to end up making the playoffs still just because I think they put, enough space between themselves and Indy in the division. So I think it would be a situation where they would have to do a lot of losing and Indy's going to have to do a lot of winning to get back into it. So, I guess anything's possible. Derrick Henry, like you said, is a huge part of that offense, so it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt. But it doesn't end their playoff chances, but definitely ends a chance of them going far.
Because they beat the Bills and Chiefs back-to-back, so, it shows they can beat those type of teams, but without Derrick Henry.
I was going to say, with Derrick Henry. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting, to say the least. We go on from that game into our nice NFL topics. And you know what? I know that this isn't first on the list, but Logan has been here all show. And I'm going to show some faith to him right here. Let me go back up, get your comment from the beginning of the show. Look at this. Happy Monday, guys. I think you know what time it is. Gangrene celebration. Logan, you might have a quarterback in you. Look, Mr. Mike White out here
Mike White.
playing playing like Jesus himself came down, tapped him right on the shoulder, said, "Go be great, son." I mean, you look at these numbers. Let me pull them up real quick. You got Mike White, 405 yards, 37 of 45, 3 touchdowns, and had those 2 interceptions. One of them, I'm not putting on him. The receiver should have caught it.
Mhm.
But I mean, unbelievable game out of Mike White. It was the day of the backup. It really was. You got Mike White. You got Cooper Rush over there in the Sunday night game leading them to victory. You got Trevor Siemian leading the Saints to victory. I mean, what a time to be a backup quarterback. But yeah, Mike White. That was the first time a Jet quarterback has thrown for 400 yards since 2000.
Jesus, 2000.
2000.
My God.
The last Logan, I'll give you 30 cents if you can tell me the last Jet quarterback to throw for 400 yards without the internet. I want an immediate answer. I don't need you looking up nothing. I want to see
who would even be there.
Yeah, Josh, do you know?
I was gonna say Chad Pennington, but that's too early.
No.
Vinny Testaverde? Do you know it?
I do know. I know. I want to see what Logan says if he's going to answer our trivia question. I don't know. It's taking a little long here, so I'm scared just looking it up on the interwebs.
He definitely is.
Well, you know what, Josh? I'll spoil it. And it was Vinny Testaverde. That was the last time. Oh, look at that. See? He said trashy Chad. No. Vinny Testaverde was the last time you guys had somebody throw for over 400 yards. And also,
got it right. Just want to say I got it right.
This is true. Second most yards in a first start of all time.
No, it's first.
I do know who's first. I said it just for you. That's exactly why I said it.
No, who's first?
Mr. Trash Newton.
Nope, Cam Newton. Cam be
mid Newton at best. But yeah, look at that. The Jets. Now I don't know what happens because Josh, hear me out.
Hey.
He throws for 405 yards, beats the Bengals, a team that we were all just going crazy about. They beat the Ravens, blah, blah, blah. What happens if they play Thursday and beat the Colts? And Mike White plays like this again. What do they?
I think they're good. They go back to Zach because you can't. Even though Mike White's playing amazing, like if he goes in there, puts up great numbers, and beats the Colts, I don't know how you can say to him like, "Hey, Zach's healthy, he's our starter." Like it's the Justin Fields, Andy Dalton thing. Like when healthy, he's our starter. I don't see how you could do that if he gets it done because he looked really good. He even came back from an injury. Like I don't know how you could do that, man. But he's the number 2 pick.
Bro, let me tell you something. If they come out here and beat the Colts on Thursday night, you have to stay with him.
I don't know how you can't, but I
feel
like
you have to stay with him.
I feel like they'd still be like, Zach's healthy, he's gonna play. Because how embarrassing would that be? You get the kid.
But listen. Would it be the craziest thing ever? No. And the reason for that is
good for them.
Look at Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
So maybe the Jets just say, listen, we like our 5th rounder more than the 2nd overall pick.
Yeah,
Somebody trade for Zach
would be
Wilson.
good for them. Like if Mike White is that guy and becomes a franchise quarterback, Zach Wilson's still got trade value. So I mean, they can still win. It's not over. But that's insane how we've been sitting here saying like, man, Zach Wilson has no help out there on the Jets. Like he's not getting anything out there. And then Mike White comes in against the number 1 seed in the conference and puts up 405 and wins the damn game. Like, like what?
Look at this. He said, if Mike White makes 3 W's, the Jets are staying with him.
You think?
I think you have to. Listen, you have
that's such a tough choice to do, though. Like,
yeah,
you tell your number 2 pick, the guy that you drafted, change franchise, like, hey, yeah, you're number 2 now. Like,
you know what? But you know what else makes this look bad? That they just traded draft picks for Joe Flacco.
Yeah, that's Mike.
Joe Flacco was never seeing the field.
No, the Saints should hit him up and get Joe Flacco.
Like even when the Jets try to do something good, it's still not good.
Yeah.
And also, you You drafted Zach Wilson second. So if Mike White becomes your starter, you just wasted the second overall pick in the draft. Just
Well, maybe if you can flip him for something, it's not a waste.
nah, yeah, but you're never getting that value back ever.
We'll give him Robbie Anderson.
Oh, you want Zach Wilson now?
I kind of. Well, no, New York quarterbacks are not really looking great for us.
No.
So maybe maybe make it a three-way trade, so it's not just straight up.
We'll trade Zach Wilson to the Dolphins. You guys can get Tua.
I don't hate that. I like Tua. I mean, I don't like Tua.
Keep him as a second string and put Zach as the opener, Mike White as a closer for the rest of the season. Come on. Now, Logan, see, now you're losing me here. We're not playing baseball.
Your sixth man? Is this your sixth man or something?
We ain't playing baseball. This is not college with Tom Brady and that other dude. I can't remember his name. Where Tom Brady would come in when they were losing and lead them back, and then the next week they still went to the other quarterback. And people wonder why Brady got a chip on his shoulder still. I would too.
Oh yeah.
Like, come on, bro. But we move on from there to the shocking news of the day. Von Miller traded to the Rams for a second and third round pick. Josh, does this make the Rams your true number one, undoubted favorite?
I don't know, because it's tough to have a favorite in the NFC right now. Because I think
very good. NFC is very good.
Because it's like Cardinals and Packers are in first and second place, but I think they'd be 3 and 4 on my to come out of the NFC list.
Oh yeah,
I'd pick the Bucks and Rams to come out before them, but then they could still make it out easily because they're playing the best. But picking up Von Miller is huge because, I mean, what are offensive lines going to do now? You still got to send 3 guys at Aaron Donald. You still got to do that. But then you can leave a Von Miller over there who himself demands 3 guys. So it's an insane pickup, but I don't want it to still overlook how bad that defense is outside of Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and Jalen Ramsey. That defense is not very good. But I do think it obviously helps them because now Von Miller's in a championship-type team. He's going to be on the same defensive line as Aaron Donald. So I do think it helps them out a lot. It definitely doesn't hurt them. I don't know where they got these picks from. Are these like 2035 picks? Like, how did they still have first-round picks? I mean, second and third-round picks. Like where's it coming from? But
you're asking a great question.
But definitely makes them stronger contenders. I don't know. I'd still take a healthy Bucks team over a healthy Rams team right now.
I'm right there with you. I think that I'm still taking a healthy Bucks team. Now I'm talking healthy, like they actually have a cornerback healthy.
That's what I was thinking. Like they get
because they still don't have a single cornerback on that entire team. So I think I'd still take the Bucks, and the only reason for that is like if this was like 4 years ago, and they traded for Von Miller, I'd be like, all right, yeah. See, now we got a problem.
2021 Von Miller.
2021 Von Miller's like, I'm excited, but I'm good. Like, like this is mid. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like you said, it is still definitely a problem. Why is Travis Kelce in the Wildcat right now? And he flipped it back to Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes to the end zone, and nothing happened. That was the weirdest play I've ever seen. And speaking of Monday Night Football, Josh, who you got in this game?
It's Chiefs Giants, right?
That is true.
Give me the Chiefs. Maybe they'll win this one.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, people, and I wish I said it earlier. I'm taking the Chiefs, but bet the Giants plus 10.5. I'm telling you.
I took the over. I feel like this one's gonna have some point score.
Well, you might be looking good so far. 3rd and goal right now for the Chiefs. Timeout. Never mind. There goes my play-by-play career.
I also got Travis Kelce and Tyreek to score. So yeah.
Yo, by the way, I made a big brain move in fantasy. I'm up 7 points with Kadarius Toney left to play. I took him right out of the lineup. I said, nope.
Smart.
In my luck, Kadarius Toney, 2 rush attempts, 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
There goes 4 points. I somehow lose. I took him right out of the lineup, stuck him right on the bench.
Did you just leave
I ain't losing. Oh, yeah, I have an empty flex spot. No, not a soul there.
Does your opponent have anyone left playing?
Nope.
They're all done. Smart move there.
Final score 97 to 92. It was a terrible week in fantasy for both of us. I'll tell you this right now. Look, I'll tell you right now. Look at this. Yep, 99.1 to 92.8. I took Kadarius Toney right out of the line. Let's see if you can you see that? See that nice little hold on. Let's see if it adjusts here. Come on. See that nice little empty slot right there? Empty.
Let me see.
I ain't taking no chances out here. Zero.
Smart.
But yeah, nice for the Saints, Jesus. The Rams.
Go Saints.
But nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. And then finally, the trade deadline is tomorrow, Josh. It is tomorrow in the NFL, and I can't wait for Odell to be traded. Because he first of all, it needs to happen. And second of all, that is one of my top. Oh my gosh, did the Giants pick off Mahomes?
No.
What just happened? I don't know what just happened. Logan, you're probably watching the game. Tell me what happened. Did they stop him on fourth down or was it an interception? But yeah, I just need Odell to be traded because that is a top 5 call that I've ever made.
You did call it, but I think the way you called it is you just don't think Odell is good. Or at least that's what it sounds like.
No. I said that Baker.
Like.
I said that Baker is scared of Odell, and is better when he's not on the field.
Okay, then that makes sense because it has seemed like that since he's gotten there.
Oh my God, Mahomes, another interception,
dude!
Give
me the Giants. I don't care.
We're gonna have to start talking about Mahomes, man.
Yeah, we really might have to.
Upset City, Logan. Hey, it might be.
Odell, I feel like he can't be on a team with a young quarterback. I just don't think that works for him. But I think he is still a very good receiver. I think he made a stupid play this week. He tried catching the ball that he clearly could have gotten 2 hands on. Tried catching it one-handed, cost them a shot inside the 10. But I think one team just made a move, the Rams. Apparently you got picks for days. I don't know if you can go into the year 2035 to trade picks, but if you can go and get them because if you add him to that receiving core, it's huge. And Green Bay, I think losing Robert Tonyan, Devontae got COVID. Aaron Rodgers made it work with receivers I've never heard of. And I think if they get a guy like Odell to be opposite of Devontae Adams, that team is insane. Aaron Rodgers gets it done with anybody. You add a guy like Odell, it would be crazy. So that's a team I think should go and get him, but they won't because they're scared to trade for anything that I guess isn't a player that's already played there. Because the only time I've seen them trade for a receiver is Randall Cobb. And that was it.
Now, let me tell you something. I want to see this interception from Mahomes real quick. Let's see. Here, they're pausing the screen. That's not. I'm trying to tell the people if it's a bad interception or not. That was kind of weird. It kind of went through the hands of somebody, and then bounced off another Chief, and then was intercepted. Still an interception, but a weird one. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to give you 2 teams, and one of them is very unexpected, but I think could work, and the other one is my team. Listen, I don't like Odell on the Browns. I love Odell on the Pats, though. I'll tell you what. You want to talk about needing a number 1 wide receiver? I'm available. We are readily available. Stick him right next to Nelson.
What are we gonna do with N'Keal Harry then? Though he's
trade him for literally, and Daniel just throws an interception right back to him.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no, very serious.
Jesus, took the over in this. I took the over. Are you kidding me?
Oh man, what a game! But Patriots very much need a very nice number 1 wide receiver. And that second one, Josh, surprise team here. Tell me that Odell wouldn't look good in black and silver.
You
put Odell on the Raiders, put him next to Henry Ruggs, put him next to Darren Waller.
That's a good receiving core.
You give Derek Carr a nice little weapon. I don't hate it. I
like that a lot because the Raiders are good. Like, they're not like a contender or nothing, but they're good. Like
5-2.
Yeah, they're 2-0 with an interim head coach. So Odell would look good.
Oh, Logan is not an Odell fan.
He's
Would
not.
look great right out of the league. Logan, now I need a question out of you because you said Gang Green before. Now we're talking about Big Blue in the comments.
Yeah. Well, you
Are you
Buffalo
just a
fan
New
too?
York fan,
You
or
like the Bills?
you got to have loyalty to one New York team? Come on, Logan.
Yeah.
If you have no choice in life but to pick one New York team to root for, football related, of course. Yeah, I need you to pick.
That's a tough
I need you to
question.
pick. I need you to plant the flag of loyalty into one state or one stadium, even though they both play in the same stadium, which is a terrible stadium, by the way. That's a different story for a different day. Anyway, Josh, we move on to some of our favorite segments of the show, and that would be Together We Pray. First of all, Josh, you have anybody to put in the circle?
Both of my things, with respect and prayer, are double downs. I just think we have to say twice as many prayers for Zach Wilson, because not only did he get injured, but now he has lost his job. So we need to double prayer for him as he looks for new employment. But yeah, double prayer to Zach Wilson. I think that's just in order.
You know what? Let me go for your guy Sam.
Yeah, he could use it.
Took a big hit. They're trying to make him a running back. I mean, his wide receivers. He gets away from the Jets. Thinks he's going to go have a good receiving core, and instead he gets a team that leads the NFL and drops. I mean, sometimes it's just a tough life. It really is. Mahomes just threw a touchdown, by the way. Tyreek.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
I had a same game parlay.
Oh,
I have over 56.5. I have Tyreek anytime touchdown, Travis Kelce anytime touchdown, Sterling Shepard anytime touchdown, and Daniel Jones over 25 pass attempts. So I don't think it's crazy. It's just those touchdowns.
I took Daniel Jones over like 200 something yards. So
yeah, I think you get him throwing the ball a lot because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, especially if they're going to be down. So hey, perfect. But yeah, I'm going to go with your boy Sammy Darnold. Then next up, we move to the put some respect on my name. And who you got, Mike White in this?
No, I'm doubling down on last week, Michael Pittman. This dude is legit. I watched the Colts game. He had the 2 first touchdowns out the gate and was the reason they moved the ball the first time down. Michael Pittman's legit, dude. He needs to be in that conversation with the young receivers in the league that we keep talking about. I mean, he's just as good as those guys. Just Carson Wentz tries to make every play the greatest play of all time. It's tough.
You know, wow. Yeah, 10 catches, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not a bad week in the NFL. I had one before, and now I absolutely forgot who it was. But now looking at him, let me get Darrell Henderson. It's kind of just a given. Yeah. It's kind of just a given that Cam Akers is going to get his job back. Mm-hmm. But after the year that Darrell Henderson's putting up, would I be mad if they were like, "Wow, calm down, Cam"?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
So that has put some respect on my name. We move on to our QB of the week, Josh. Who do you have?
I think we both have the same guy. It's Mike White, quarterback of the week.
Come on.
37 for 45, 405 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, almost the greatest first start for a quarterback ever. Almost the greatest first start ever. It's insane.
Almost, of course. Yeah, I mean, come on. You can't go wrong picking Mike White here. First check quarterback throw for 400 yards since Vinny Testaverde in 2000. 2000! 21 years. You know that this game also broke a streak of like 27 straight games or something that the Jets didn't score over 30 points?
You want to know what's also something cool now that we're bringing up random stuff like that? Did you know that yesterday was the first time in NFL history a quarterback with the first name threw a touchdown to a receiver with that same last name? Cooper Rush to Amari Cooper. And the only time it's been flipped where the quarterback's last name was the receiving first name was last year with the Cowboys again. Andy Dalton to Dalton Schultz. Crazy. Both with the Cowboys.
Out here making history.
Yeah.
A history that, of course, nobody knew. But
it's crazy.
He said, Joe Namath, we pray.
Smoking Joe.
I believe the New York Sack Exchange will return. That might be one of the greatest nicknames in NFL history, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Purple People Eaters, fantastic. But New York Sack Exchange, unbelievable. Like what a play on words. Because obviously we go with the stock exchange. No.
Yeah.
Jet said nah. We're beating people up these days. And then we'll go to our winners and losers real quick. Let's just give a one winner, one loser each, Josh. You go ahead.
All right. My winner it's a group of 3: Matt Rule, Joe Brady, PJ Walker. Because now they want to run the ball at the quarterback. Congrats, PJ can do it. So Matt Rule and Joe Brady are on cloud 9, knowing they can run the ball.
I'm going to go with Jet fans. You guys finally were allowed to cheer for one whole week. And look, you might even have a quarterback controversy. Who would have ever thought that the Jets and QB would ever be in the same sentence, besides drafting a new one?
And my loser, he doesn't deserve to be a loser, but the way the media's been treating him, AJ Green, it's not your fault, bro. Miscommunication. You didn't know.
His controller died, bro.
Yeah, it's just not his fault, man.
For my loser, I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
This
Prime
man
time.
cannot win in prime time. There's no way the Vikings in their right mind would ever give him that contract ever again. So you know that they regret it. And he just lost to Cooper Rush.
All those weapons.
That's a problem in life. That is a problem in life. But with that being said, we go on to our Week 8 recap. Josh, I don't think I did very well. So
honestly, neither of us did, but you definitely did worse than me. I went 7-7, just at 500.
That's tough.
And you went 5-9.
Yeah, see, that's tough.
I mean, right off the bat, I won Thursday night, and then I won 2 morning games with the Panthers and the Titans winning.
Every single one of those games, too, I should have won, by the way.
Well, not the Panthers won. Arizona won, maybe if AJ Green turns around. And then the Titans won. Yeah, I'll give you that one. That one you deserve. But yeah, I'm 71-43. You are 67-47. I stretched the lead out a little bit, get a little bit of breathing room. 4-game lead.
A little tad.
Not comfortable, but a little breathing room.
All right. With that being said, we will find out how we both do this week with our Week 9 picks. Another beautiful, and I mean beautiful, thing that I made. Thank you, Josh, for that round of applause. Because let me tell you something. Making this every week, quite annoying. But I do it for the love of the show. Because we are professionals out here. And I got to do it. I have to do it. So we started off Thursday Night Football. The return of the GOAT, Mike White. The Jets at the Colts, Josh. Who you got?
I love Mike White, but I don't know if I can go with the Jets.
Come on, do the chant and everything.
All right. I'm going with the Colts.
Thought you would actually do it.
I'm sticking with
no, because I'm sticking with the Colts. Listen, I got Winston-Annapolis I got to worry about. So, come on. Next up, we go to the Pats at the Panthers. Obviously, there's an easy disagreement here. Can't wait to have bragging rights all of this year as the Patriots are going to take down the trash Panthers. So, yeah, Pats for the win.
Yeah, I hope you take a lot of pride in beating PJ Walker. I hope you celebrate that one
beating anybody
till the end of time. But you know what? I believe in PJ, and I also believe PJ is going to put the ball on their chest so they can't drop it. And I believe I believe Stephon Gilmore is going to get a pick on Mac Jones. Be like, yeah, y'all traded me.
I'm sure he will.
Me. You traded me. Yeah, give me the Panthers all day.
Then we got the Browns at the Bengals, the Battle of Ohio. Who you got, Josh?
Give me Cincy in a bounce back game. Baker's hurt, man. That shoulder is hurt, and it's hurting them. So yeah, give me Cincy.
Yeah, I'm going Cincy too. I think I've learned my lesson with the Browns this year. It's just not the same. I do put a lot of it on Baker, but I also put a lot of it on Baker because he's injured. Like, That's just a hard thing to play through. So
And
I don't
Chubb
really
barely
blame
played.
him.
Chubb barely played. So
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
mean,
have him.
he was back this week. Yeah, okay. Falcons at the Saints. I'm going Saints here. No faith in the Falcons ever again.
I kind of think the Falcons will win this one, but I'm not going to take a loss on the record because of this game, so I'm going to roll with the Saints too.
See, look at that. You would have had Logan's support, Josh. If you went with the
I'm
Jets, you could
sorry,
have had
Logan.
support.
I'm sorry, Logan.
Could have
I'm
had the
just taking
support,
it.
but no. We got the Broncos at the Cowboys. This is an easy game. The Broncos are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Rush got done against the Vikings. I think he'll get it done against the Broncos.
Next up, we have a game that nobody should watch unless you're a fan of the team. We have the Texans and the Dolphins. I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Well, you're not
think that
interested in the Davis Mills versus Tua matchup?
No, not even
Sounds
slightly.
awesome.
In fact, there's not many things I'm less interested in.
No, give me the Texans, baby.
Okay.
Give me the Texans.
Okay, I respect it. Look at this. Logan said tie game. Imagine. We got the Vikings at the Ravens. You know, it is not a primetime game, so there is a chance that the Vikings could win, but they're not going to because the Ravens will. But, you know, maybe Kirk won't throw for 5 yards and no touchdowns.
No, Lamar's going to run all over these guys. It's not going to be pretty.
Next up, we got the Raiders and the Giants. Listen, I just talked big about the Raiders. They're gonna go trade for Odell. So I'm gonna go with them as well.
I'm also going with the Raiders. I don't know if they're going to trade for Odell. I hope they do, but I'll take them anyway.
Bills and Jags. We're not even going to discuss that. Moving on to the Chargers and the Eagles. I don't think we should discuss it, but the Eagles did win last week. But I'll still go with the Chargers.
Didn't they play the Lions?
Yeah. And this might just show how bad the Lions are because I think they beat them like 35-0.
Have you seen any of the quotes from Nick Sirianni, the Eagles coach?
Bro, he's a weird guy.
It's so funny.
He's like, you got to be roots and leaves at the same time.
We're starting at the roots right now. We're just trying to blossom. That's all we're doing. We're just
you got to be able to blossom and be in the same place and stay grounded at the same time. Listen, bro. I'll give you a hint. Shut up. Next up, the game of the week. The Packers and the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I'm going with the Packers, though.
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers, too, man. I think Devontae will be back, so they're going to let him up.
Aaron Rodgers is going for 450 this game. I can already feel it.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got the Cardinals and the 49ers. Cardinals with a bounce back here.
Yeah, I agree. One of my losers I didn't get to though was Trey Lance because Jimmy G just ran the ball for 2 touchdowns. So your mobility does not matter because Jimmy can do it too.
And then we rounded out on Sunday Night Football, the Titans and the Rams. It would have been more fun if Derrick Henry was playing, but he is not, which means the Titan season is over. So the Rams win this one.
Yeah, this could have been such a good game with Derrick Henry. Hopefully Adrian Peterson's playing so it can be even better. But I'll go with the Rams.
Well, those are our Week 9 picks, as you can see at the bottom of that screen there, too, by the way. Go download. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me use my words here. Go download Underdog Fantasy. Use code GenZ with your first deposit. And bam, you could be right in the game with us. I got, what I take today?
This
I believe
many.
I
took put in this many, you get this many. You double it.
You double it. You know, you put in 10, you get 10. Equals 20, by the way. And I'm not even good at math. Just saying. Make sure you use code GenZ. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Very important to us, okay? Mahomes going deep to the sideline. Out of bounds. But, oh, look at that. We got a Titans upset. Logan, I think you just pick every upset, every game. I swear to God.
But you did pick Panthers.
You picked Green Bay, so. Who is the favorite in that game? Is it the Panthers?
Hell no. It's definitely you guys.
Why? Well, they're both 4-4.
You guys are much better 4-4 than we are.
We're still pretty. Let's take a gander.
It's probably like 4.5. It's probably not huge. It's probably 4.5 or something.
We are a 3.5 point favorite.
3.5.
Wow, interesting. Okay, but that'll do it for this week, Josh. What do you got for everybody before we head on out?
You can follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Generational Sports. We hit 100 subs over there, 200 followers on Twitter. We're giving away an Amazon gift card, so make sure you go sub, go follow the Twitter, and you'll get entered into that. And also, like Connie said a little bit ago, head over to Underdog Fantasy and you sign up. If you don't want to put a bunch of money in, don't put in $10. They'll give you $10. Just like that quickly with code Gen Z.
I think it was 20, by the way. Yes. As for me, obviously, me and Josh do this Monday, 7 Eastern, every week. Tuesdays, do the hard count with me and CJ. By the way, don't want to give anything away, but we got a new logo coming soon. I'm just saying. Ooh, new logo coming soon. Nice little rebrand for the kids. Then Thursday, backstop banter with me and Michael, talking everything in the baseball world. Hey, we could have new World Series champions by the time that
Pablo
show.
Sandoval.
Maybe. You never know. We could have new World Series champions by the time we are on the show. Actually, I think we will, because I think the next game is Tuesday, and then Game 7, if needed, is Wednesday. So we will have World Series champions. We'll break that down, head into the offseason, and see where we go from there. That's at 10 Eastern on Thursdays. So make sure you check that out. Anthony Conover _ on Twitter, Gen Z Sports on Twitter and Instagram, by the way. We're over there on the gram as well. So make sure you check that out. Like we said, Underdog Fantasy, Gen Z, $10 on your first deposit. A bunch of my friends are in on. We got a nice little group chat going on. And listen, here's the other thing. Shout out Underdog. I joined their Discord. Very helpful people. I went to the support tab, just messing around. They're answering people right away in real time. Fantastic company. Fantastic. So we love them. Let's make some money, people. But until then, we will see you all next week.